Hello. So I know Jan introduced me. I know that we've got a couple of new people. I'm Jory. I'm a baby lock educator and I live in the Tulsa area and I'm a longtime BSON customer. So I'm so happy to be doing club this year and getting to travel around. Like Jan said, our theme this month is Let's Go Swimming. So we've got a fun beach bag and we've got a couple of variations. We've got a cute little OESD eyeglass case that's in the hoop. We've got a trucker hat with a fun little Americana design on it, and the towel. We're gonna take advantage of the full 18 inches on the Radiance and talk about putting big fonts or monograms on a towel. Okay, let's do this. So all of our projects this month feature tags, or I like to put tags on things. A lot of us are bag makers. I know every time I go to a store and I see the little tags that go in your items, I have to get them. But how many times do I get home and can I find them? Are you guys like that? Okay, good. Okay, so I saw this on Instagram and I thought since we were talking about tags this month, it would be a great thing to show you guys to organize your tags. It's genius. I'm like, why didn't I think of this? So what they did was they bought these little page protectors at like Walmart or Target, and theirs was for coins. My Walmart didn't have that, but these are like those trading card ones. And I thought they would work good too. So we've got a lot of tags for you to buy today, and I feel like they're going to make it home, and I'm not actually going to have to tear up my sewing room looking for tags. But if you guys need a fun way to organize them, this is great. A lady at another club said, you know what, I put my USBs in these too. Well, what a great idea. So since we're talking about tags, let me show you guys some of the cute tags we have. So we're talking about Minky Kim today. Does anybody know who Minky Kim is?
Yes.
Yay, you're a fangirl too?
Yes.
Okay, Minky Kim, she is a fabric designer for Riley Blake. She's Korean and she's adorable. She has a really active social media and a YouTube, and she's one of the nicest people ever. I've reached out to her by email for questions about digitizing her work, and she's just so kind. I just absolutely love her. So we're featuring Minky Kim today, and she has these fun tags. And the really cool thing that she does is she only does like one run of them. So you might find some that are similar at a later time, but you won't find like the exact ones. So they're in little pink packages, and I'll show you this little variety pack right here because they're kind of hard to see like they are. So here I'm going to spread them out on this little mat, and we'll put the camera over here. Is the camera going, Dee? Okay. You guys, I feel for the Tulsa ladies. I had to run the camera by myself, and it was a show. Yeah, it was.
It's horrible to have to run that camera by yourself, I'm telling you.
The ladies are like, you're making me sick. Oh, goodness. Okay, so this is her 2025 variety pack. And like the tags are on the bag, and I'll show you more of her.
You just sew them on?
You do. All right, some of them you can put in the seams.
Yeah, on the side.
Yes. So some of these are two-sided, and they're very cool. I wouldn't anticipate what was on the other side. So I did want to just show those. Minki, and then yeah. Okay, so can we rotate it so they can like see it?
You can do which way you want to rotate. You can do it on the
Well,
head.
they can't see it. It's like sideways.
You want to rotate.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Okay, so you think that there might be scissors on the back of this one? No. It's a rotary cutter. How cute is that? And this is another one. So this one has the cute little pin and the little needle threader. This one is black on this side, but it's gold on this side. This one is a flower on one side that's yellow. Isn't that cute? These two are probably my favorite. But these are on sale today. I cannot remember the price. I know the price of one set is $10 and the other set is $8, but they are on sale. I believe they're 35% off.
Yeah, 35% off.
So 35% off $8 or 35% off $10. And I apologize, I cannot remember which one is $8 and which one is $10. There you go. It's marked. The variety pack is $10. So the other one, there's another one back there that looks like this, but it has different colors because, like I said, she doesn't do the same ones again. So it is this one, but it's a little bit grayer around the outside. The around it is pink. The colors are all different. So, excuse me. So we've got two different tags. And then I was so excited when I saw these because I have a hat in progress. Wouldn't that be cute on the back side of my trucker hat? So these Sarah Hart ones that we've had that we carry in the store, they're all on sale, 35% off as well. And there's a ton of them. There's rainbow clouds, a ton of stars, hearts. They're all hanging back there. These are $16.99. And then they're 35% off that. So if you're a tag lover, today's the day to stock up. Do you want me to pass these around, these cute little stars? There's more back there. Oh man, I want this. No, well, I'm gonna let you guys have first dibs. But yes, okay. Oh yes, we do have some Kimberbell ones. Yes, yeah. Okay. Here, we'll show these. These are the Kimberbell ones, and they're $8.99, and then they're 35% off. But how cute are those? So if you're a Kimberbell groupie, this is a must. Here, you don't have to get up. I'll pass this variety pack around. If you do pop it open and take a look, just make sure you don't drop any of them. All right. Well, I tell you what, we're going to get started with the Americana design on this hat. Oh my goodness, I'm going to wear the hat while I'm doing it too. Okay, so we're going to do this really cute little Americana design. We made it. It's an AccuQuilt die. Yes. Okay, so girl, I don't even know where to start on this hat because it's so exciting. They do. I'm going to pull up, Kaylin just grabbed it for us, but I'll pull up the die so that we can kind of see it. I don't have an AccuQuilt, but after I made this, I called Kaylin. I was like, how much is an AccuQuilt? What are the specials? I've been talking to my husband. I was like, I gotta have an AccuQuilt. And you guys, I love it so much. You'll have to see this other one that I've kind of got in progress from an upcycled pair of jeans. They're fun. They're fun. So I got to stay focused. Okay, we're going to focus on the design first, and then we'll talk about all of the parts of it. But if you want this, the die, all of the dies today are 25% off. This one is a little more than 25% off. I want to say it's $132. Do you have a coupon sheet? So it's what's the original? Yes. What does it start out at? $189. All right. It's a little more than 25% off. So we're really taking care of you. I did the math because I was like, which one's better? Because I'm gonna get this die before club's over with. All right, let's do the design first, and then we'll talk about the making of the hat. So, all right, we're gonna do some IQ. So you guys have a handout at your seat for this Americana design. And if we can probably set it here. Here, I can. Woo! It's okay. You got it? Oh, thank you. Okay. So, all right. So this design, the instructions were written for the Solaris Vision or the Radiance, but any IQ can do this, all right? The exception is the bows. The bows are something special that we're going to kind of talk about today, but there are other cute things or masculine things for a boy that you could do for the flag other than the bows. So the bows are actually part of a design suite collection, and the Radiance and the Solaris Vision are able to bring in additional fills and motifs. So if you don't know what a fill or motif is, I'm going to show you today. But a fill is like those quilting designs that we use in IQ. We all know those. I love those. The motif is like if you're doing an applique, it's what's along the outside to help decorate it or tack it down. In each one of these, there's about 16 fills and 16 motifs. And you can use these in IQ Designer on the Radiance, the Solaris Vision, or palette. So if you don't have a Radiance or a Solaris and you want to do these cool fills and motifs, you just have to have palette. I'll tell you, I have a friend and she has a FOF and I create designs for her all the time and she loves it. So you can make these for your friends that don't have baby locks too. So palette software is awesome, but that's a whole other topic. So when you buy these, you get a little USB, and these are not embroidery designs, okay? Some of them have bonus embroidery designs, but what you're actually buying is not embroidery designs. So if you try to put this in and open it up in embroidery mode and go, there's nothing on this stick, you're right. In embroidery mode, there's nothing there because you have to open these up in IQ, okay? All right, so this is the one that came with my Radiance. Today, we're gonna be using the very first holiday collection. It has the little Christmas bows, and we're gonna be repurposing them for 4th of July. This collection also has candy canes, it has Christmas, it has Thanksgiving, New Year's, Halloween, all of those fall, early winter holidays. And if you want to know what designs are on here, you can use the little QR code. All right, so we're going to do this. Here we go. I'm going to go into IQ Designer. All right. So not tomorrow. Today's Thursday. So next Thursday is Tulsa's club. Tulsa is always the last club to happen. And after the last club is when they send out an email with the video for that month and a PDF copy of the handout. And also this month, they're going to put the JPEG for this artwork. So if you don't want to wait, on the last page of your instructions, there's a picture. So you could scan it with your scanning board if you wanted to make it before then. But you will get a JPEG that's all nice and clean. So where you open up your artwork or bring your artwork in IQ is this little fern. So I'm going to click on this little fern, and we're going to bring in a line design. And mine is on the USB because I'm using a JPEG. But if you scanned it, you would open it here. If you used the app to take a picture and send it, you could do this little flower. I'm just going to open it here. And that's where mine is. There's the artwork. And all it is just straight lines and scalloped lines. So I'm going to hit set, and we're going to bring it in. Now, I'm going to tell it what type of line type I would like. This has satin stitching, and it has the motif. So just to kind of keep myself straight, and I'm gonna bring it in with nothing. I'm gonna select no sew. That's just my preference. I can always change what I bring in, but I think it's easier to bring it in as no sew and then add the stuff later. So I'm gonna set it to no sew and click OK. I'm gonna move grayscale detection 2 clicks to the left, and I'm gonna click OK. All right, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna click set, and my artwork is set. Now it's gonna be a little big, so let's go check out the size. Here's the size. It's this little square button. It's 4 inches tall. That's kind of big for the hat. You can make this whatever size you want and put it on whatever you want. It would be so cute on the tote bag. I'm gonna make it for the hat today, so we're gonna make it about 2.12 inches or 2. It doesn't have to be exactly that. So I'm gonna proportionally shrink it here. All right. And you know, anywhere between 2 and 212 is good. All right, it looks like I didn't do anything because the background is still showing my artwork. So what I can do is up here, I can hit the light fern, and that will take the original scan away. And as you're working on artwork, sometimes you might want to say, oh, what did it look like when I first started? You could bring it back to reference it and then turn it off again. That's just so that you can remember what it looked like in case you're making changes. We're not going to have to worry about that, so I'm just going to leave it off for today, and I'm going to click OK, and we're ready to start assigning line types. So I'm going to select my line type up here, And I tell you what, why don't we do the satin stitching first? I think I'm backwards here. This is my satin stitching. So I'm going to select my satin stitching, and I'm going to select red and OK. And the very first one and every other one are red. So let me zoom in so that you can see. There we go. And let's get a fill bucket. And now I'm going to touch the first one, and I can zoom out a little bit. I might have zoomed in just a little much. There we go. So there's the first one, there's the third one, the fifth one, and the seventh one. So there they are, they're red. Let's go back in, let's get pink. And OK. And let's do the same thing. Our fill bucket is already selected, so let's get the second and the fourth and the sixth. Is that six? Okay, I lost track of my counting there. Okay, so my satin stitching is done. Let's go get our motif. Your decorative motifs are right here. That candle wicking would be so cute, especially for like a male one. The diamonds would be cute. This is one of the new ones that's only on the Radiance, but it's just a zigzag versus a full satin stitching. So if you don't have the Radiance, I really think the candle wicking would be pretty, or the diamond. Let's open up the motif stitches, and you'll have some of these, and click select to open those. So I don't know how far back the Altera goes. I want to say the Altera has at least like 7 or 8 of these. I know the Solaris probably has that heart. Wouldn't that heart be cute on those, especially for a little girl? You could pick any of these, but I'm going to go to custom. And this is where ones that I've used previously are. I'm going to go to my USB, and I'm going to select on my USB where my motif is. Oh, it is? Okay. There we go. Here's the bows. I've got a couple of different kinds. I like this one. I'll pick that one. Again, these are on this collection. This is an additional purchase, and this is actually on sale today. So it's normally $125, and they're taking 40% off. So that is a great price. So they are. And the USB, like this isn't, once you put it on your machine, it's not a permanent storage thing. And I'll talk about that here in just a second.
I found that out when I first bought my first one. I'm like, why isn't this thing in here?
Yeah, because like we have 18 and counting copy. And so if each one has 16 fills and 16 motifs, that's a lot of stuff to store in your machine. So you're going to want to make sure that you back yours up on a computer. And the USB is just going to kind of be a temporary place for you to transport it. Okay, so I'm going to select the bows and click OK. If I had more than 12 customs here, it would make me pick one to knock off. So this is not going to be a permanent storage place. All right, I'm going to click OK. You know, blue is really hard to see when it changes colors on the screen. So I'm going to select a green. It doesn't matter what color you select. So if you have problems seeing red, you don't have to select red. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to stitch it out in that color. It's just you're picking colors that are easy for you to see. All right, I'm going to click OK. I have that fill bucket selected. So this time, all I have to do is just click that, and you can see it turned green. All right, we're done. I'm going to go to next. All right, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see kind of what's going on here. Oh, it looks perfect, doesn't it? Do you guys notice anything? Yeah. Well, let's fix them. So we've got 4 rows of bows. I do not want to have to go through each row and change it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to link them. If I click link, now all of them are selected. You can see the red behind them. I'm going to go to flip, and we're going to flip those babies. And OK. That's a little better. Now let's go to the next, and let's take care of the satin stitching. Right now, this is the one that's selected. I don't want to go through and do each one separately. So I'm going to chain link them. Now they're all selected. The default is pretty narrow, so I'm going to make it at least like 0.12 inches or wider. And you can make any changes to your bows, or if you select a different motif when you're on that menu. Let me go back there. You can change the size of the bows. I could make them smaller or larger. I could space them out more if they were too crowded.
Are they gonna get cut off?
I have it zoomed in. Let's zoom out.
See, they're gonna get cut off.
What's going to get cut
The
off?
top of the rows.
No, the red line just shows that that's the one that's currently selected.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
I'm like,
If I select this chain link, it links all of them, so you can see they're all selected. Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit set, and it's just telling me it's gonna go to it's leaving IQ. If I want to save it, I need to cancel and save it, because if you want to come back and edit it, yeah. So a good practice would have been to save it. I'm not going to save it on this machine because I don't want them to have like 10,000 things. So I'm going to hit OK. All right, we're ready to stitch this out. If you're going to make a bunch of these and you want to save this so that you don't have to go through those IQ steps, just hit this little pocket button here and save it somewhere. All right, questions about the actual design itself. This stitches out really fast. It's cute. This is actually, Mary sent this to me and she was like, can we make this an IQ? So this is Mary's hat because this is her design. If you Google like bow Americana, you'll see 10,000 of these in different varieties. So no questions about IQ?
no, that's good.
Okay. All right, well,
Questions when I go home to do it. Not
okay. Well, you know what? If you have questions when you go home, jot them down. Or give Dee a call, or my email is sewinghoopla@gmail.com. You can message me, and I'll try to answer you too. So you can always reach out. All right.
And what was your email again?
It's sewing hoopla HOOPLA @gmail.com. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You absolutely could. We took advantage of this because I embroidered this before I sewed it together and made it three-dimensional. But absolutely, if you want to turn this into a patch, you absolutely could. I could just go into edit here and just use that key right there, and it kind of creates a little outline around it that I can kind of change. So yeah, we could do that a different way. I could go into add. And right here, there are some frames, and I could select the square. And depending on what kind of square I wanted, I could go back into IQ Designer to do it. But I mean, you've also got these. So if I wanted let's say I had a material that wasn't going to fray like felt, I could just do this triple stitching right here and select it. And then I could resize that square to fit. So you're right. Aren't these machines awesome? Like, you can just do so much. Does it make sense? Like how once you get that square on there, how you could... we could do patches 10,000 ways on this machine, right? Yeah. I will pass this around, but before I do that, let me see. I had 10 minutes to talk about IQ. All right. I'm going to give myself 10 minutes to talk about the AccuQuilt, and that's it, because I'll get carried away. All right, so I brought this one. A customer made this for me at an at an applaud event that I did. And I love this, and I'll have to show you. So ours are a little different. I really, really love how she did hers. So the original instructions that are great for this die, you get like a PDF, and there's several versions of the PDF. So I'll show you several versions of the hat so that you can really get inspired to create one that really like matches your taste. All of them have lining, but when you buy store-bought hats, they don't have lining. And so she got all fancy, and she used her attachments, and she did this beautiful covering the raw seams, and she did all this decoration, and it's just lovely. So I love this. This is one of my favorite hats. So she didn't do lining, she did a band, like a facing. So that would be a very easy change to make if you wanted to do that. So this one's I've got one that's lined and one with that. The other thing is I'm going to pass around this, and Dee, we might even have some of this in stock. I got to remember the name of it. So it's the R&K, is it Stitch and Shape?
Stitch and Shape.
Stitch and Shape, one side's fusible. So that's what I used for the bill, but I didn't feel like I really wanted mine to be like heavy duty like this one. So I used two layers of this. So when I pass it around, you can kind of feel the difference. Not one is not right and one is not wrong. It's a personal preference.
Right.
And so I'll also say this, I didn't steam these. So if you want to shape your brim, all you have to do is use a tailor's ham or something that's rounded and just give it some steam and really shape it and use, the wood clapper blocks and let it like set and cool off in that position. So that's another comment at the other store. They're like, your bill's so flat. Trucker hats do tend to be a little bit more flat than like baseball hats, but you can still shape these. Okay, I will pass these around. Let's see here. I'll start over here. And I did some other really fun things to mine. I added a covered button hat, a covered button to the top. So if you look at your hats that you get at the store, they have covered buttons. Now you could use a covered button from Walmart, sew it in there and grab the lining, and that would help hold all those layers together. I looked for one to buy, but I didn't find one from our distributor. But these are really easy to find on like Amazon or something. If you Google hat covered buttons for hats, you will find you can buy pre-made covered buttons that are like generic colors like navy, black, and they come with a little spike. Or you can buy blank buttons and cover your own, like I did with the hat. So you have to have a tool. That's the word I'm looking for. You have a tool and you make your covered button first. After you get your covered button made, you start from the inside and you just push the spike through the center and you get the spike all nice and neat and you get all those layers together. And then you put the covered button on top and these spikes just kind of, yes, they fill out, they bend, and it holds all the layers together. So I really like this. They make little tools that you can use with a hammer. So if you do a covered button, a lot of times the covered buttons will come with it's like a little divot type thing that you can use so that when you're hammering it, it doesn't misshape the button. They do make like cam snap ones and stuff. They make the little hand press. So if you really get in, and if you're a bag maker and you might already have one of the presses, you can buy the die that covers your buttons and stuff for it. But so if you're just getting started, you might want to, well, there you go. If you have that, then you might look and see if they have a covered button die or something. But if you don't have the press already, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Literally, the little setting tools come with it. And if you're new to it, I would definitely start that route. But that makes it fun. All right, so the other thing, I am going to talk about interfacing. So I used 2 layers of interfacing with my quilting cotton because it just wasn't as stiff as I wanted it to be. Like I just really wanted it to be stiff because hats are usually like, made of canvas or something. So when I tried this is Dreamweave Supreme. Is it Dreamweave Ultra Supreme or is it just Dreamweave Supreme?
Floriani.
Yes.
Floriani.
Yes.
There's an Ultra and there's
Okay, so it's Dreamweave Supreme. Okay, I couldn't ever remember if it had both in the same. Okay, so when they gave me this to try, I was like, yeah, right. Oh my God, you guys, I'm gonna pass around this piece. When you iron this on, this is the firmest interfacing that Floriani makes, the Supreme. I'm super impressed with this, and it's very soft. So for the new hat that I'm making, I'm not going to line it. I'm going to use just the band, and it's so soft. So I will pass these couple of pieces around so you can feel those. This is Floriani Dreamweave Supreme. It's not on the coupon sheet, but we should have some in stock. And you guys get your Emerald Club discount.
Yeah, a lot of you guys have bought that with the Floriani event that we had.
Did we pass this around?
That.
No. This is the Floriani Stitch and Shape. Okay. Let's look at some inspiration here. So the guy that does the hat, his name is, I don't know what his name is, but his business is like Rose City Quilts.
Martini.
It might be. So he's got a really big social media presence. And this hat has been around for many, many, many years, and then AccuQuilt licensed it. So you can go on Instagram and find all of these cool variations that people have already made, and then whip you up one with the AccuQuilt. So let me show you guys some of these. These are ones that he has instructions for on the AccuQuilt website. So this is a really fun utilitarian one. I like that. That's very masculine. And somebody said, oh, you could put your drafting pencil or one of those square pencils that the men use when they're measuring. There you go, carpenter's pencil. And instructions for this variation are on the AccuQuilt website. So I do want to make sure you guys know that. This is the one that I'm making right here. I was really inspired by that. Yeah, isn't it fun? And I think I'm even going to use like a sander and, you know, like rough it up a little bit. Yeah. Let's see here. Think about all those orphan quilt blocks.
Stitch and shape.
They used half square triangles here, but I mean, you could use anything. I even saw one on Instagram that was a reclaimed quilt. You know how people cutting up old quilts that are not in usable shape anymore? That would be kind of fun. Let's see here. And then, of course, there's a Tula Pink one.
Oh, yeah.
When you're making like bowls or something like that. Anything that you're, yeah. Mm-hmm. Stitch and shape. Yes, it's not on the coupon sheet. It is on the coupon sheet? Oh, she's awesome. Okay. All right. All right, I do want to show you guys one more variation that someone at another club told me that they had done with this dye. How many of you guys like the hats with the high ponytail slits? Okay, so I never thought of this because I don't have enough hair. I've never had enough hair for it, but she makes the little the ponytail slits in the hat, and it's such an easy modification. So I'll show you a picture. I wish I would have taken a picture of, I wish she would have, I'll have to ask her to send that to me. So here's what we're talking about. Let me close this.
Oh my goodness.
See?
Yeah.
So instead of, yeah, so it's really popular right now, I guess, with especially the younger generation. They don't like to wear low ponytails. They want to wear high ones or put it up in a bun or something. But that would be so easy on the back. Instead of closing the seam, you could bind it, put a facing. There's so many things that you could do there. And the other thing that I'm going to do to the next hat I make is I'm going to do eyelets. And I think that's another thing that would really hold the hat with the lining and everything together. I think eyelets would make it look really, really, really professional. Okay, so let's take a look at, let's see, I was going to pull up the dye. I know we talked about the dye. I've made a lot of hats, and I was really, really impressed with how easy this was to sew, how it really went together. The trickiest part was putting in the lining. Even adding the bill wasn't hard. The trickiest part was the lining because the lining's kind of baggy and the hat's kind of firm. And so you just have to make sure that you're constantly watching your lining so that you don't get any pleats or tucks, you know, but it's not hard. If you do, get Jack out and he'll help you. So when we embroidered our design, we used piece A. So the first thing that you do is you will quilt a 10-inch square, and we use foam, the soft and stable foam. So you'll quilt your square, just the quilting fabric and the foam, and then you'll cut out piece A. And then piece A has that center mark, so it's really easy to find exactly where I needed to put the American flag on my hat. It was easy to embroider it flat. On here, let's see what else we've got. Piece C is it's got a curved part on it, and that's the back where the hat's curved and the little Velcro, the little Velcro's back here. That's piece C. Piece B is your sides. And D is your actual fabric for your brim. And then E is slightly smaller, and that is your stabilizer or your stiff stuff. All right. This was so fun to make. It's got notches. When it goes around, take a look at those notches on the pattern. The notches are perfect. Everything matches up. They also use the notches for when you're sewing it so that you can leave openings to flip the hat through the lining. This was such a joy to make. I'm telling you, this whole die has me sold on AccuQuilt. So
It's great. AccuQuilt's great.
it is. And just seeing the hat, just seeing the die, I don't think sells it. I think if you actually sew the hat, that's why I think we should do a class. The other stores were like, oh, we should do hat and shoes. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Hat and shoe class. Even that Stitch and Shape went through the AccuQuilt with no problems. Now you only do one layer at a time.
Yeah, it's so thick.
Yes, and even the foam, even the quilted foam part for A, no problems. How many has an AccuQuilt? Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to come
You should go to
hang.
the Barbara Harper class.
I know.
Because you would have gone crazy.
I so wanted to. I wanted to.
God. You would have lost your mind.
I'm glad to hear that you guys had fun. All right, there's a video for it. There's lots of instructions for all of the hats I showed you that are free. I mean, when I make mine, I watch the video and I pause because he tells you which way to put your seams, and you don't even really have to think about it. I'm like, why should I think about it when he'll just guide me through it, you know? Are there questions? Any questions about the hat die? All right.
Paddle the AccuQuilt.
Do what? Do we need a what?
Do we need to paddle the AccuQuilt?
I know. Yes. Who wants a Go Big electric? You have one? What? Get that out. Get it out. Okay.
There you go. I do know. I know your situation.
Well, ladies, we are at a break. So why don't we come back at 2:10? That gives us 15 minutes. Will that work?
Yes.
Get your crumble cookie on. Like, they are delicious. All right. We're going to do this bag next. Are you guys ready? All right. It's always hard to rally people after break. All right, so we're going to do this bag, and this is by the designer Minky Kim that we were talking about. So this is her bag, and we're featuring her pattern today at Club. We will be happy to order these for you. So if you want one of these, we'll give you 35% off. It is listed on the sheet. It's $12, but you know what? The $9 price is not 35% off, so we're going to do better than that. It makes it just right at under $8. So we're going to give you 35% off of this, all right? So if you want this Quilter's Big Tote. So let's talk about this tote, and then I'll pass the instructions around. It's a very easy tote to make, so if you are interested in getting into the bag game but hesitant about binding, this is a great one to jump in on because it's really easy, it's big, so when it starts becoming three-dimensional, which isn't till the very end, the very last step makes it three-dimensional. So it's really easy because you're working with it flat. The bag is reversible, so it's got binding that covers everything. And depending on what kind of mood you're in, you're going to put a tag on each side so it doesn't look basic, right? You can really play and have some fun. The front part has a bottom, so you can really have some fun with your prints. The lining part is just one solid piece. So you can really have some fun with your prints. You can have fun with your binding, and I think it's really fun to see how it looks in different ways. So we've made two versions here. We've got our red, white, and blue one, and the one, of course, that I made previously. You can cover the handles, or you can leave them uncovered. And the webbing and the strapping today is on sale as well. I'll pass this around so you guys can take a look at it. So, and I also have, what we use is the By Annie strapping. So it's the exact same strapping on there, and that's also the same strapping that I use to cover it. So for my second bag that I'm working on, I'll tell you what, I'll pass.
You covered it with that check.
Yes.
Okay.
There's instructions in here. So if you want to use plain white webbing and jazz it up with some fabric you have, that's a great way to do that. It also makes it last a little bit longer, like the bag, especially if you're going to be carrying heavy stuff in it. So I'll pass that around. But wait, there's more. So if you don't like the whole fabric version, there is a patchwork version. So I'll pass that. And I have the patchwork version in progress here. It's 2-inch blocks. And it is the easiest thing to sew. So with that one purchase, you get 2 different versions, actually 3, because it's 4. You could do the patchwork for one side. I don't know. There's so many ways you could do this, but past that. No, it's just traditional piecing. It is traditional piecing. Let's see here. The way she has you put the straps on, they're not at the very top of the tote. They're actually sewn down 7 inches. So you've got 2 rows of stitching here that are really supporting this. You've got a lot of webbing. So unlike some bags where the webbing is just right up here, this is sturdy.
Yeah, very much so.
Yes. So it's going to be able to handle the workload. I thought I would talk about some binding, especially for new people that maybe aren't as comfortable binding. So one of the first things that you'll do is you quilt your fabric however you want to. It uses the foam, the soft and stable foam, which is on sale today. Once you get that quilted, she has you cut your piece down to size. And then you start the fun. So one of the first things she has you do is she has you apply binding to each of the top edges. And you don't have to worry about the ends. You can just leave the ends raw. You don't have to worry about folding your binding in or anything right now, because that happens later when we do the side seams, okay? So you'll just so it's really easy to do that, so simple. The same thing, she has you go ahead and join your bottom pieces and do binding on those. Again, you don't have to worry about your edges because they get covered with your boxed at the very end. Now, I'll kind of show you what I did for my binding. I do my binding a little bit different. We all have, if you make a lot of bags, you probably have a preferred way that you like to do your binding. And that's great. I always like to try things. So I tried her way on this bag. You know what? It was okay, but I liked my way better. And I did a different way on that one, which was okay. It still worked out okay. And so I'm just going to show you what I do, how I would do binding. Just really quickly. Let's see here. All right. My camera. This is what happens when Dee leaves me.
Where is she?
I know.
The minute you walk away, you know.
I don't even see the viewer on here at all.
There, I'm sorry.
Is this it? It has a different logo. Okay. Ah, that works. Okay, there we go. Oh, awesome. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I took the binding strip. She has you cut 2.5 inches, and I cut mine at 2.5 inches. I personally like double fold binding, okay? Yeah, it is a little bit bulkier, but you know what? It's my prerogative, right? So if you don't like double fold binding, then follow her instructions and give that a whirl. I used double fold, so I folded my 2.5 inch strip wrong sides together, and I did a 3/8 inch seam. I don't know what she does on her seam allowance. I want to say it's a 1/4, but I did a 3/8 inch seam. And I have found that if the needle is in the center position, which it is when you first turn your machine on and go to sewing, if I line my fabric up with the edge of this foot, it's about 3/8. So that's what I do. I like to do that because I don't have to have any special feet. And a lot of times bag patterns will have you sew at a 1/4 inch just to kind of hold everything together. And then when you go back and add your binding or whatever, you do it at 3/8. So if you wanted to, you could stitch your side seams at a 1/4 inch. And then when you get ready to do your binding, the only thing you're really having to worry about is keeping that binding strip on there because the pieces are kind of already sewn together. And you know what I mean? Like you don't have to worry about 3 different layers. All right, so here's how I kind of do mine different. So I did double fold, and you're gonna leave, I'm gonna finish one end. So on the side seams, you only have to make the tops look nice. The bottoms can be unfinished because they're gonna get caught when it gets boxed, okay? So on this end, I only have to make one look nice. And then the very last step that you do will be to box the corner. Both of those ends have to be folded in and nice. So, but the process is still the same. I'm just gonna do it on one end on this one. So I've got it sewn. It's a 3/8 inch seam allowance, and I already gave it a nice steam. So I have this little line here that's gonna kind of guide me where to glue it. Does anybody glue based? Okay. I learned this from Pat Sloan. This is, if you're a bag maker, especially if you've got little tiny pieces and you're trying to move that around your machine, this is gonna be your best friend. It's got a nice little tip on it. It's water soluble. You can probably see where I maybe got some glue on the navy of the bag. All I have to do is just take a little spritz and that'll come off. But this is Roxanne's glue basting, dip and dab, extra large. So and she has this here. I didn't want to open it, but it's just water soluble glue. So what you're going to do is on your end, you leave one end, the end that you're going to finish, you leave it at least an inch longer. The other end is just right up to the edge, and it's raw. All right, so on this end, I'm going to just fold it under, and I'm going to, yes, oh, sorry. Yes, let's do that. So I folded it under twice. Fold it under, fold it under. So I've got it just like that. At this point, I would put some glue on it, and you don't ever want to sew through wet glue. So what you can do is you can use your iron and dry the glue. Some people will put a clip on there and they'll walk away and let it dry that way, whatever you're comfortable with. But anyway, put some glue, get that kind of held down, and then you're going to fold your piece over, and it will be more wrangled because you've got it all nicely glued. Yours isn't going to, see what happens when I try to put that down and it's not glued? Yeah, so get yours glued, and then when you fold it over, you can position your nice edge of your fabric just over that stitch line, and again, you can glue, and that'll hold it down. Now, right here, there is a little bit of bulk. What you can do is if you have a clapper or a piece of wood, once you get that thing glued into place, steam that baby. You know, get it steamy, really push the iron on it, use a wool mat, and then let it dry with this. Put some pressure on it. You might have to do it a couple times, and it will get flatter. Yes, there's a lot of layers there where it's folded. Yes, there would be less bulk if you did single fold, but I still didn't like doing single fold. I just still felt, I don't know. We all have our preferences, right? If you ask 10 quilters how to bind something, you're probably going to get 10 varieties of answers, right? Some of them might be similar, but you're going to get different ones. So this is what I like to do. So as long as you use a clapper and you really steam it well and really get it flat, no problem. And then the last thing that you'll do is once you get it all down, you just top stitch right along that. And I like to use one foot. I don't like to switch foots because I'm making, yes, feet. I don't like to switch feet. I know, right? Foots. There are feet that are made for binding. I like to use my J foot. And as long as it's just slightly over the stitch line and you catch the top, it doesn't matter to me if the back is a little off because I'm going to match my thread to that, and the back stitched down. So I don't have to worry about that back. Does that make sense? Because you're stitching from this side. So I don't know. I'm not the quilt police, so I'm not going to come to your house and, you do what's easiest for you. So if you have a binding method that you love, use it for this bag. If you want to try a combination of this and your favorite thing, you do it. That's just a suggestion. So questions about how to finish the ends? That's probably the hardest thing, and that's not even hard, right? Just folding it down. That's not hard. This is an easy bag. Okay, we're going to do our last couple of things today. Last couple of things. So we have an OESD set for you guys today. So this is the sunglasses case. Let's pull this up. So this takes 2 hoopings because the back is quilted. So you'll make the back piece first, and it uses fusible fleece. Do we have any of the fusible fleece in stock? I forgot to check. I don't know if we pulled any. But anyway, it uses fusible fleece. And the reason it uses fusible fleece is because you'll hoop the fusible side down. And when you make the backing, it gives you a little seam up here at the top. And that's the last step. And when you take it off from the machine and cut it and fold that lining piece over, the fusible part just grabs that lining. So if you look in here, that lining is all nice and held down by the fusible. It's just so it keeps your lining from being all baggy. But I'll pass this around and I'll show you guys some of the other ones in this collection. So this is a 2 hooping project, and it's something you can make in an hour, maybe 2 if you have to pick out fabric. It is on sale today. It's normally $29.99. It's on sale for $19.99. It came out in September, it came in July of 2022. So if you were a Spree Club, it's possible that you have it. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so you've got a couple that are blank. The heart one's really cute. And then the other ones have puns. They're all quilted on the back and the front. So this one says, "You are spectacular. I have specs appeal." That one's cute. "I was framed." Yes. And then here's the one that we did. All right. The last project of the day is this lovely beach towel, and then we're going to do some show and tell. So, the beach towel. All right. Yes. So a lot of you have probably made beach towels before. This font is built into the Radiance, and I was surprised that it's a fill stitch. It's not satin stitching, it's a fill stitch. So I'll tell on myself, I actually made a towel and I hooped it up, and I only used 1 layer of water soluble, and it didn't make it. Because it's not heavy, but it's thicker than it's more stitches than what I thought was going to be. So you are going to need 2 layers of wash away, okay? So what I would recommend doing is using a layer of regular Floriani wash away, and then using Floriani wash away with sticky back on top. So you've got your 2 layers. I'll tell about a story. When I pass this around, you can really look. I've got an ugly on mine. Can you kind of see where there's a run? So what happened is I used 2 layers of regular, and then I basted to hold it in place when I floated. And even though I was really gentle and I used a topper when I was taking that basting away, snagged. So I would not recommend basting your towel. But I'll pass that around. I did leave the stabilizer on there so you can see. And we're going to take a look at this. This uses a font that's built in. It may be on the Solaris as well. I didn't check. But we used the full 18 inches of the hoop. You could actually do like a whole name on a towel and do like 3 hoopings or something. I mean, about 3 capital letters takes up the whole 18 inches. Yes. Okay. So, you want to come over here? All right. And I want to set the timer so I don't go over. I don't want to go longer. Can I have that phone? Yes. So you're going to need 2 layers. So the first one on the bottom is wash away, and then on top it's sticky back wash away. Okay? Yeah. All right, we're going to show you where this is and give you some ideas, some inspiration. So this is in embroidery mode. And right here are your fonts, and here are your monograms. So I'm going to go into your monograms. Your monograms work differently than fonts because you can't type out a word. You have to bring each one in individually. All right? If you slide your finger across the top, you'll see all of the options that you have. And I'll tell you this, at another club this week, a lady told me that she uses this one for like wedding gifts, and she does the design in a monochromatic color scheme. And she says that it just makes this look so different. But how elegant is that? I thought that was so fun. That would be so cute for an elegant for a new bride or a wedding gift. So that's a really cool font. The one that we're using today is right here. It's just so pretty and curly. It has a full capital letters and it has a full lowercase letters. It has numbers. It has punctuation, special characters so that we can really embellish our monogram. All right, so I tell you what, I'm gonna pick, let's see here. I'm gonna just do H, and I'm gonna hit set. Now you have to think about which way you're gonna be hooping your towel. I really don't want my towel over here, so what I did was I did the end of my towel over here, and then I rolled it up and I wanted it like over here. So I'm gonna think about that when I'm rotating it. So when I rotated my font, because I wanna take advantage of 18 inches, this way I only have 11 and 5/8. So I'm going to go this way so that I have 18 inches. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees right. That way the base of my towel can be right here and the rest of it can be, yes. And if you ever see this on your screen and you're like, why is there a square hoop? That's because there's a hoop selected. So that looks like maybe an 8x8. If you want, it doesn't matter. You can leave it here. It's just a reference. But if you wanted to get rid of it, you could go up to the menu. Oh, it's a 10 and 5/8 inch square hoop. So I'm just going to select the big one. And now that kind of goes away. All right, so for time's sake, I think I might just select the 3 same letters so that we can kind of play with it. But I'm going to move that all the way up. I'm going to hit OK. I'm just going to duplicate it. And I'm going to go to move. And I think for this one, we might make the middle one a little bit bigger. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
You don't have to do all the letters the same size. You could do 2 letters, and the middle one, you could move it up a little bit and do a larger letter. If you Google like monogram layouts, you'll get a ton of ideas. Yes, so I'm going to go here where stitch recalculation. It's going to tell me that it's going to put it in the original spot, and that's okay. And now I can make it a little bit bigger. And okay. I'm going to rotate it. We're going to move it. And I tell you what, I'm going to go back and get this smaller one, and we will copy it. I'm going to line it back up and move it down here. Ooh. If these were 3 different letters, you guys get what we're doing here, right? Isn't that fun? Okay. Yes. So you kind of eyeball it and kind of space them out. Oh man, that's kind of cool. I got like the perfect sizing. Why don't we add a special character? That might be kind of fun. So yes. All right, so we're going to go to add an embroidery, and then there's our monograms. Let's see. Which one, Denise? Which one do you want? You want this one?
Well, that or that one. There's what I was thinking.
All right, I like it. And do you think it needs to be made larger?
Yes.
Okay, so let's make it larger. And let's use the stitch recalculation. And I'm going to rotate it. You think bigger? I can still do it bigger too.
Yeah, if you want it to stand out.
Do you think I need to move it down more? Yeah? Oh, you want it like across the whole?
Yeah.
Oh, and she says she wants me to flip it. What do you guys think? Okay, so let's make it a little larger. I mean, you guys know we're not stitching this out, right?
Ooh, that would be pretty.
Oh.
Make 2 of them and flip one.
Oh, okay.
I like that idea.
Let's see here. Let's copy it. Let's flip it. Ooh. And I could make it a little bit smaller so that they fit better. Oops, I didn't mean to move it down like that. Dang it. I have to really work on it there. But this is kind of a rabbit hole. You can really, I mean, like you could have a lot of fun playing with fonts. Yes. I do think it would be so pretty, especially on a beach towel for a child to do their name on the side real big. Well, I hope you guys are inspired to do something with monograms. The monograms, we're from the South. In Texas, we put a monogram on everything. And when I first got my embroidery machine, nothing was safe in the house. I was, and I know you guys are the same way. We're looking for stuff to monogram.